All right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening all over the world, ladies and gentlemen. I think we are officially all set to go for this webinar here today, here on Facebook Live as well as Zoomcast all over the world. I think I have everything set up here for us. I know I had a little technical difficulties there just momentarily there, but I think we've got it all set up. But my name's Emmanuel Berstein, and I'm your host here this afternoon or this morning or this evening, depending on wherever it is you're calling in from. And it's a great honor and a pleasure to be able to serve and share this information here with you today. I'm here in the Houston, Texas area. Matter of fact, I was born and raised in Chicago and been involved in this industry now for almost 25 years, ladies and gentlemen, the great industry of direct sales. I come from very humble beginnings of growing up in Chicago, Illinois, and finishing college with 2 degrees and trying to get into medical school. I was unsuccessful in doing that, but I still was able to land a good job or a decent job in the corporate America world. And I had 3 promotions in actually 4 years. And I thought I was climbing the corporate ladder, doing pretty well, until my manager said, "Hey, listen, you've got a chance to be in one of the first Afro-American vice presidents of this company, but it's going to take you about 30 years. And I didn't like the sound of the 30-year aspect. I wanted to make money right then and there. I wanted to become a 6-figure earner. I wanted to even eventually become a 7-figure earner. And I knew that at that point in time that my ladder actually was on the wrong building because it was not going to happen in that particular capacity. So I found out, I was introduced to the world of direct sales. And that was 25 years ago. I worked it part-time, connected with some individuals that became my mentors who had never had college degrees, but they were making high 5-figure incomes per month. So I pretty much humbled myself and decided to listen to them and learn from them and duplicate what they were actually teaching. And therefore, I was able to climb that ladder. And in 2 years working part-time, I was able to pay off all types of debts that I had. And I was able to go full time. And now that's been 22 years ago, 23 years ago. So I'm excited to say what this industry can do for a person. It can help you give yourself time and freedom in the same sentence. I know all of us know people that have a lot of time but don't have money, right? Or you know people that have money but don't have a lot of time, right? Or you probably, unfortunately, know some people that have no money and no time. But guess what? All of us, 100% of us, are seeking the opportunity to have time and money in the same sentence. And I found in the network marketing industry or the direct sales industry that it is the vehicle. If you can find the right one with the right coach and the right mentor, it's the vehicle that can give you both in the same sentence. And fortunately enough, I have been able to connect myself with those types of coaches and mentors along the way. And one of them, the latest one, being a gentleman by the name of Houghton Bugs, who's assembled himself around some incredible leaders that he's been able to provide an environment for to become leaders. And this gentleman here in the last 12 years, 11 years, has become the #1 income producer in the entire industry of direct sales from one single position. In our previous company, we were able to work that system that he created and create an environment that allowed that company to move from of an ice cream shop to over a $2 billion corporation in just 10 short years. He's successfully has earned over $100 million plus and from that one position. And nobody can say that in the 60 plus years of the industry. And when you look here at this opportunity, he now is the CEO. He's no longer holding a position as a distributor. He actually is the CEO of our company, Ibuumerang, which is what we're going to talk about here today. And we're excited about him because, again, Mr. Houghton Bugs has been the person that has become the ultimate leader that people are talking about all over the world. Why? Because he has vision and he knows how to make those visions become real for people all over the world, regardless of your background, regardless of what country you come from, regardless of the languages that you speak. He has produced multiple people, 7-figure income earners all over the world. Well, he's recently connected with a gentleman by the name of David Manning. David Manning actually has been in the industry of direct sales for also 30 plus years. And this gentleman has actually primarily over the last few years has been working in the travel industry with a company called Extreme. And those two connected on this particular project here. And between the two of them, you're talking about 60 plus years of experience. Okay. You're talking about two individuals that I think are the power punch so to speak, for the industry. It's exactly what the industry needs right now. So I'm going to talk about what these two individuals have been able to collaborate on and what's causing the boom all over the world right now. And hopefully I have enough battery power that will allow me to finish this webinar. If not, we'll move around. But at any rate, just in case, we'll get prepared for that. But at any rate, let me see if I can share my screen here and we'll dive right into it in the interest of time. There we go. Let's see. I think we're good to go. Let's see what we have here. That's the one I want right there. Perfect, perfect. So hopefully you all can see my screen here, ladies and gentlemen. But here, I want to put out a disclaimer here that, you know, we're going to talk about money today. We're going to talk about incomes. We're going to talk about success. We're going to talk about freedom. But I don't want you to feel like we're guaranteeing you any types of result, because we don't know exactly, you know, what it is that you're going to put into the system here. But I can tell you this, whatever it is that you put in is exactly what you're going to get out of this opportunity. So if you put a lot of sweat equity into this and you follow our system, you follow our blueprint, you follow our leadership, guess what? You plug into this environment, you can change your life or improve your life for the better. So, but if you don't do anything, guess what? You don't get anything either. So how are we going to make this happen though? Well, we understand that in the industry of direct sales, which has been around for 60 plus years, we know that it's been a great industry for many of us, but also it hasn't been a great industry for a lot of people. Whatever reason that is, we just know that the industry has not really evolved like some of the other industries that I'm going to talk about here today. So our goal here is to make the network marketing industry become better, become the professional industry that it is, that people can become attracted to and work full-time, long-term in their careers. Now, what we're deciding to do is we're putting together what we call as a PRIB and a first-class consumer experience, where we know that we want to create a customer base, much like the customer bases that you see some of these large conglomerates, multi-billion-dollar corporations around the world, like Google, like, well, I should say Google, but I would say like Amazon, I would say like Airbnb, I would say like Uber. In fact, they have large customer bases all over the world. And Uber happens to be one of the fastest growing companies. Matter of fact, it's the fastest growing company in all of the world. So we know that they have a first-class consumer experience, and we know we're bringing that to the industry. And we're also going to bring what we call as a PRIB, a perpetual residual income builder. And you're going to see that we've created an ecosystem. And in this ecosystem, we're going to have multiple opportunities and things that people can utilize, that do utilize on a daily basis. And you're going to be able to have a residual stream of income being produced from that. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Now, the old model in network marketing, we see one thing happens very frequently is that the customer winds up paying more. And the reason is because whatever that product or service is, it costs money to manufacture it. It costs money to market it. It costs money all throughout the process. Therefore, many people have to get paid. The company has to get paid. The distributor has to get paid. So therefore, we see what we call as a considerable amount of markup. And that markup could be anywhere from 2 times to 20 times the cost of actually making that product or that service. Therefore, who loses in that situation is the customer, because the customer in that network marketing would find that if they're on an auto ship, meaning that they automatically pay every single month, we see that they generally stay on auto ship for about 79 days, and then they cancel their membership. Now, normally why they cancel that auto ship is because they simply can find that same product or service somewhere online, like an Amazon or a Walmart or a GNC. Other places where they can get it for far less. And it may not be exactly the same product, but it could do the same results, so to speak. So therefore, we see that it's very tough in some instances where a person can really try to make a residual long-term income. So who really wins in that model is the top and strong recruiters, right? So here it is. We said it's time for change. Okay. We want to change that model. We want to make sure that whoever it is that gets involved in this company or network marketing, that they can go out and build a legitimate customer base and earn a true walkaway residual income if that's what they want to do. So how are we going to do that? Well, we've created a system and an ecosystem where no one makes money in our company unless the customer saves money. Okay. The customer's got to win first before the TSA or the distributor can win. And then the TSA and distributor wins, then the company wins. So to me, doing this new model that we're bringing to the marketplace, this is where it's a win-win-win type of situation. Okay. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to do that in the industry of what we call is travel. Here's what's so amazing about travel. It's the number one industry in the whole world, folks. Matter of fact, whether the economy's good, whether the economy's bad, this industry is going to grow. Matter of fact, it's an $8 trillion industry currently as we speak. Okay. I didn't know that but I've been traveling all these years, but I had no idea that it was an $8 trillion industry. Think about this. Over in Asia, they're doing $6 billion a day. That's 70,000 a second, folks. When I snap my fingers, I just want you to think about 70,000 per second that is made over in Asia, okay? When I say that in Europe, we're talking about 55,000 a second. When I say it in the United States, it's 32,000 a second, 11,000 a second in Latin America, 5,000 a second in Africa. So we see that the industry of travel is huge. Think about how big that is. 8 trillion, it's a lot of zeros, right? So just I want you to imagine that if you can attach yourself to an industry that's going to grow with or without you, right? Whether the economy is good or bad, if it was producing more than $8 trillion per year, how much do you think that you can actually generate out of that? Probably hundreds of thousands, maybe millions. That's where we're going here with this opportunity. Now, so when you look at the travel industry, though, most people did not notice, including myself. Travel is only controlled by two companies. We call it a monopoly or a duopoly. Who controls the industry? A company called bookingholdings.com, and then a company called Expedia. You probably see the advertisements every single day on TV. Matter of fact, while you're watching sports and this weekend, I want you just to notice it. You're going to see a commercial about Booking Holdings, and right behind that commercial, you'll see one about Expedia. Why? Because they're marketing to our subconscious mind. See, we did not know, and most people don't know, that these two industries control all of the these two companies control all of the booking search engines that we tend to go to when we book our trips, our vacations. They say the average traveler, when they book their trips and vacation, they go to about 10 to 15 different sites to try to combine and find the best savings for themselves and their families. And you can spend anywhere from a day to a month to try to find yourself the type of savings. And usually the savings are just probably about $5 to $10. So imagine you invested all of this time, all of this energy to save yourself pennies on the dollar. See, you can't win in that situation. And here's why. Because usually what happens, you're comparing these sites against each other, but they're owned by the same company, right? Matter of fact, you go to Kayak and Priceline and you see a $5 difference. You get excited about the $5 difference, but guess what? They're playing a mental game on you. It's called price parity and markup. It's the same company, folks. You've got Travelocity, Orbitz, Trivago, Hotwire, Hotels.com, owned by the same company. See, these two industries, these two companies, they're not travel companies. They're marketing companies. And matter of fact, I was just with one of the top leaders here. Ms. Tanya Mazel came in and did a meeting for us at a hotel last night in Houston, Texas. And guess what? She said that these two companies, they combined have done in 2018, somewhere around in there, $100 billion plus. I want you to think about that. That's a lot of money. Because why? It's called price parity and markup. See, we don't play that game here in Ibuumerang. What we have here is a company that's called Extreme Travel. That's our backbone. They are the ones that we use for our search engine. And they have specialized in this industry over the last 18 plus years. They've done over $1.5 billion of travel savings for our customers. How do they do that, folks? Well, it's because they have what we call is back behind the curtain pricing. See, we pass the savings on to you, the traveler, and that's how it should be done. See, most people don't know that travel, when you book it, you either pay in retail. When you step up to the counter, you pay full price retail, right? or you spend all this time online looking at these search engines I'm showing you here to save yourself a few dollars. Why? Because these are discount sites. What if there was a way that you can get wholesale pricing, behind the curtain pricing? Well, with our company. Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, when you look here at Extreme Travel here, when you look here, who's Extreme Travel? We don't advertise. The company just doesn't advertise, and that's how they can save all of the money and pass the savings on to you. See, those other sites that I just shared with you, those commercials cost billions of dollars that you see on your TV. And therefore, in order to make up those billions in advertising, they got to charge you more money, right? So here it is. When you look at the awards or the accolades or the Oscars, so to speak, of the travel industry, Extreme's got all of them. And guess what? These are just a few of the ones I want to mention here today. Now, remember, Extreme Travel is owned and operated by Davey Manning. He's the CEO of the company. And guess what? He's built a great, great portfolio. FunJet, everybody's heard of FunJet. They gave us the Platinum Member 500 Award. Carnival Cruise Lines, right? One of the top cruise lines out there, Pinnacle Club Awards, Royal Caribbean, another one, the Royal Family Award, Norwegian Cruise Line, the President Club Awards. Guess what, folks? These are all top-notch, multi-billion-dollar companies that have attached, that we can say now are promoting and endorsing what it is that we are doing with Extreme Travel. Then you also have Delta Vacation. Delta Vacation, ladies and gentlemen, has given us the Diamond Elite Agency Award, not 1 year in a row, but 2013 through 2018. The Mark Travel, Mark Travel gave us the Elite Presidential Award 9 years in a row. And the Premier Diamond Agency, they works with CLIA. CLIA stands for the Cruise Line Association. Matter of fact, we have that award. Matter of fact, our director of travel, Ms. Lori Spears, actually sits on the board of CLIA. That's amazing. That's a great endorsement. So we've got some inside scoop on what's taking place in the travel industry. And then the last one here that's listed is the Travel Savers Elite Agency Top 50 Award since 2011 through 2018. And the list just goes on and on and on. But that kind of shares with you here who Extreme Travel is, okay? So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. You look at what we're doing here on our site. It's called iGo. That's our booking engine, and it's yours as a member of our company. It's your very own wholesale travel booking platform. What does that mean to you? What's the benefit to you of having the iGo site? Well, you get up to 70% off your retail pricing, depending on what's in the inventory, depending on where you're traveling to. It could be up to 70% worth of savings to you every time you book. You can also earn travel bonuses. You might have some people that you know doing large group travel, whether it's reunions, whether it's family vacations, whether it's, wedding destinations going on this summer. Refer it over to Extreme Travel, and guess what? Receive some commissions that way. Now, we also have what we call our member-only trips. Now, these aren't just regular trips. These are member-only. It's a membership pool we have in our company. So you can be invited to go to some of these trips, which are 5-star, 6-star, diamond-type locations. Matter of fact, they're highly discounted. They're exclusive. You can't really go to these in most cases unless you are a member of the iGo platform. Matter of fact, we're taking one next week over to Cancun, Mexico. It's a place called the El Dorado. Never been there, but I'm looking forward to really seeing what this place is all about, because it is supposed to be one of the best places to go to in Cancun. And guess what? We've been invited there as a member-only type trip. Also, if you ever thought about being a travel agent, you have that opportunity here. Most people, are taking advantage of not being a travel agent, but if that's what you want to do, there will be an opportunity for you to also do that as well. And guess what? You get all of this wholesale behind the curtain member pricing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's attached to $8 trillion worth of inventory that's right at your fingertips every single day. Let me give you a couple of examples here. When we looked at some of the other travel engines and compared it to our iGo site, here's some of the things that we saw here. Now, we took out the names of the establishments to protect their business. So we didn't want to infringe on the relationships that we have with all these locations. So here it is. We actually have New York City. It's a 4.5-star hotel. You've got Expedia here who had this hotel listed for $339 a night. On our iGo site, same hotel, same room, same time frame, We found it on our site for $178 a night, which happens to be $161 worth of savings. Now, I want you to think about that, okay? Now, remember, this is worldwide inventory. So here it is. Maybe you might want to take a look at Paris, France. Well, we went to some of these locations and looked them up on different sites like Travelocity. We found a 4-star hotel in Paris, France for the entire week was $440 a night. We compared it against our iGo site, was $130 a night. And guess what? That was a $310 savings per night. Now, I want to pause there for a second, because if you could save that over in Paris, do you think you might stay a couple extra days? Of course you probably would, right? Or maybe treat yourself to a nice dinner, right? Of course. Why? Because you don't go there for just a weekend. You take that type of trip for 7+ days. So now guess what? You can actually turn the savings into more days if that's what you want to do. It's your choice. But I also want to point out that Ibuumerang, ladies and gentlemen, is the first travel booking site to actually accept cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. Now, we also looked at some other things here like rental cars. So rental cars here, ladies. Okay, there we go. Rental cars right there. We found over in New York City for the entire week, it was actually $392 for the entire week. On our iGo platform, we found the same reservation for $221 for the entire week, which would have been $171 savings. So I want you to think about something. Savings is the new earnings. When you go shop on Amazon, do you save? Yeah. When you go use Uber, do you save? Yeah. Saving is the new earnings. Savings is the new earnings. So we found a platform and created a platform where now we can turn the savings over to you, the member, turn the savings over to your customers. And guess what? Now you can earn from them. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Let's look at this one. Punta Cana. We looked at hotels.com. We found a 4-star resort there for $1,215 for the entire week. On our iGo platform, we found the same hotel, same resort for $712, folks. That's a total of $503 worth of savings for the average week. Now, what could you do with that? Some people can go get a spa treatment. Ladies can go do some shopping. Men can go do some fishing or golfing, whatever you want to do with the extra savings. It is yours to utilize, okay? So these are just a few of the examples. Now, that's what we found online, but let's see some real case scenarios, okay? Here it is. We've got customers now. We're only 6 weeks old. I didn't even mention that to you. Almost 2 months old now, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I can tell you right now, people are getting started in a company, and customers are starting to travel all over the world using our platform. Here it is. We've got a few of them already. Here it is. When you look at our company, not only do we pass the savings on to you, but we also have an opportunity for you to earn what we call reward credits. Now, I want you to keep in mind these reward credits, you can accumulate them. So eventually you can use these for your travel versus using your cash in the future. Okay. So here it is on the left-hand side of the screen, reservation at the Sheraton, Salt Lake City. The savings was $848. Now, they only paid $395 for the reservation, but look what happened. They also got 445 credits for this particular travel segment. We also had another client of ours that actually saved $532 at the same place in a different time frame, but this time they got $321 worth of reward credits. The third one shows you right here in Houston, Texas, is a place called the Westin Galleria Hotel. Okay, these are some of our colleagues here that are very, very sharp, doing big things over there in the Korean market. Well, they actually came into town for 7 days here in Houston, Texas. They actually saved $999, almost $1,000 worth of savings. Their reservation total with them was $945, and they got over 1,000 points, 1,000 credits for their reservations. Now, they probably, Miss Sophie probably took that $999 worth of savings, and she probably spent it right there in the mall. As soon as you walk out of your hotel, you go right out there. You got all the high-end, beautiful stores, Saks Fifth Avenue, Louis Vuitton, just to name a few of them, Gucci. And guess what? She likes wearing nice things. Nordstrom's. You've got all of them, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is. You now can go out and use that savings for whatever it is that you want. Our CEO of Ibuumerang, Mr. Holton Buzz, we didn't have to black his name out. He wanted to check this out before he bought the company. He says, I want to make sure that when I go and stay at one of these places and my clients and members go and stay in places, they're not staying in places that don't have windows. These are real rooms. And guess what he found out, folks? Not only are there real rooms, royalty treatment in some of them as well. In fact, this reservation he found at the Paredes Los Cabos Resort, which is a 5-6-star resort over in Cabo San Lucas. And the reservation, the total savings for him, and he got 687 credits for that. But most importantly, there was a concierge that called and said, hey, Mr. Bugs, how do you like your bed turned down? How do you like your pillows? What kind of beverages do you want in your refrigerator? So he was treated first class. Remember, I said what we want to create is a first class consumer opportunity for all of our customers worldwide. And we're doing that with Extreme and Ibuumerang. So these are just a few examples. I even have tons of examples of my own here in Houston. I stayed at a pretty much a 4.5-star hotel. Matter of fact, it's the newest of all the hotels right now in Houston. It has a huge lazy river in the form of the shape of Texas, okay? Matter of fact, it's got an infinity pool that overlooks the entire downtown area. That reservation there usually is anywhere from $300 to $400 per night. But using the iGo membership site, I was able to get that for $128 per night because that was in the inventory at that time. At that time, ladies and gentlemen, it was somewhere around 53% that I actually saved per night on that trip. So, or that stay pretty much. So that was exciting. I mean, we're getting this at the highest end resorts and locations down to the lowest end. So again, it's all based on real-time inventory. You know, you may not see a 53% savings all the time. It may be a 20% savings. So again, it's real-time inventory, but savings is the new earnings. Also here, ladies and gentlemen, if you just look at the entire benefit package that you have here, you will save on hotels, you'll save on rental cars, you'll save on cruises, you'll save on multi-million-dollar homes. If you want to take a large group of people and stay in multi-million-dollar homes around the world, like the rich and famous do, guess what? You're saved doing that as well. We even have weeks that you can go 7 days, 14 days, however long you want to go and stay at some of the top resorts around the world. Some of them are 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, and 3 bedrooms. And get this, $300 a night, $200 a night, $400 a night. I'm sorry, not even a night, a week, okay? A week, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you heard me right, a week, okay? So you got that type of inventory there. Then you also have Marketplace. Marketplace is pretty much the same thing, but if you can bid on some of these resorts now, if you want to pay $50 and somebody accepts your bid, one of those establishments accepts your bids, you can go for the entire week, okay, at whatever that bid price is. And for those that have timeshares, now guess what? You can finally find some use for your timeshare. If you want to go ahead and list your week, you can list it on our site and we can help you move that week. I also left out flights. I left that last. And the reason why I wanted to share flights with you last is because you don't see much of a savings, if any, on flights, because again, the airlines does not give savings nor commissions on flights anymore like they used to, but we put it on our website, on our iGo platform, so that you have everything all inclusive in one package. And I've been told that we're going to even have packages that you can purchase here pretty soon as well, like you would on some of the other engines out there. But again, you actually earn reward credits, but maybe not have much of a savings on the flights. Now, there's some additional lifestyle services and rewards and savings. You see them listed over there on the right-hand side, but I want to point out what's at the bottom right. It says price guarantee. If you find a lower price online at any other site engine or other site, we'll refund you 110% of the difference after you've taken that trip or that vacation. We still will pay you 110% of the difference, folks. That's amazing. That shows you how confident we are here at Ibuumerang, how confident we are with Extreme Travel, that we have below market pricing, behind the curtain pricing for you, the member. Now, the question that I have for you is, do you boomerang? Now, the guests that are calling in right now, you're like, what do you mean boomerang, Emmanuel? Well, boomerang, think about what a boomerang is. A boomerang is a gadget that you would throw out, and guess what? It comes right back to you. So I want you to think about this. In our company, we said, wait a minute, let's throw out savings. Let's throw out goodwill. Let's throw out good deeds and let those good deeds come back to us in the form of commissions. Because guess what? If we throw out a free website to a customer, to a friend, to a family member, to a loved one, and they save, guess what? That savings comes back to us in the form of commissions. How does this work? Well, guess what, folks? Remember, when we give away this free site, a person pays nothing for it. They use it, they pay nothing to use it. They keep it, they pay nothing on a monthly basis to keep it. Essentially, it's theirs for life. And they can use it a lot. They can use it as much as they want. It's theirs. Think about this. When you use your Uber or when you use Amazon, do you pay for it? No, you don't pay for a monthly fee. When you go to use it, is it there? Yeah. Okay. Do you have to use it every day? You don't have to, but it's there when you need to use it. That's our concept here with Ibuumerang. We want to create a large customer base, just like these other companies. See, they have disrupted the industries that they're in. Amazon's disrupted the whole retail industry now. More people are finding it more convenient. Instead of shopping and going to stores, they can go right here online and shop, get it at a discounted price, have it shipped to them at their door, and guess what? Enjoy it. What about Uber? Same exact thing. Guess what? Those people can use it at the same time. See, Uber is disrupting the entire transportation industry. Fastest growing company in the world, and yet still, folks, they own no cars. They own no taxis. Why? Because the customer now wants to save money, have the convenience in driving in sometimes luxury cars or just nicer cars instead of driving in those smelly taxi cabs, right? You know, no offense to all the taxi cab drivers that are out there, but again, it's just a new day in time. The world is evolving. The economy is evolving. The customers are evolving. They look to save and enjoy their savings. That's what we're doing here with Ibuumerang. Our goal here, ladies and gentlemen, is to build the largest customer base. See what we're doing in that process. We know we're going to disrupt two industries, the network marketing industry, and we're also going to disrupt the travel industry. The network marketing industry is already experiencing it, ladies and gentlemen. We're sending out a sonic boom all over the world. In fact, we've got over 30,000 plus TSAs already that have been attracted into 114 different countries already. And we're just only 6, 7, 8 weeks old. I can't even remember. We're having so much fun. It's just going so fast. Guess what? It's booming. It's booming, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, well over 30,000, 40,000 plus customers that are now experiencing this now. And that's never been done in the industry so far. And we're just getting started. So you have come to this webinar at the right time. This is the right company. You're in the right place. That's going to pay you the right way. The only thing you want to do is make sure that you make the right decision, and that's to join this movement, okay? That's to join this movement. Now, how does Ibuumerang work for the customer? I just showed you how it works for the member, but how it works for the customer, ladies and gentlemen, is this. You now get a chance to share the same type of savings with your friends and family members, okay? Now, when your friends and family members become customers of ours, they're going to enjoy 50% of whatever the savings are that are available to them when they use it. And what happens now is 50% of that savings, that goes to you and through the compensation plan in the form of money. Now, we're the only company that's doing this, folks. There might be other companies that try to duplicate and emulate, or there might be other companies that have a similar service. But most importantly, number one, they don't have our compensation plan. Number two, they don't have our leadership. Number three, they don't have our environment. We've got the full package, okay? So here it is. I want you to understand that you can now make as much money as you want to by giving away the free sites. Think about this. Do your friends and family members like free stuff? Of course they do. So here it is. Now you've got the opportunity to feel good about what it is that you have. See, I know other people in network marketing, folks, they didn't feel good about what they had. And then if they did feel good about what they had, they certainly didn't feel comfortable about going to ask their grandmother, their uncle, aunt, their friend, their family member to buy their product, because sometimes they knew that the product could be found somewhere else, far less prices, right? So ladies and gentlemen, imagine now you don't have to sell on anything. You don't even have to recruit if you don't want to. And you certainly don't even have to convince now. All you got to do is just share. We're not looking for sales reps. We're looking for sharing reps. So think about this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's an example. If you went out and just started sharing our free websites with people that you know, and they become members, you join the company and you now become a travel savings ambassador. Remember, you give out goodwill, you give out good deeds, you pass on the savings to them. It comes back to you once they save and use it in the form of commissions at 50%. Give you an example here. We found a trip here on our iGo platform. As a member in the company, you would have gotten 70% off on this trip. It was to Playa del Carmen. It was a place that's very, very nice, 4.5-star resort. On the regular booking engines that we already know of, we found it for $4,867. But on our iGo platform, ladies and gentlemen, the entire week was only $1,467. Ladies and gentlemen, that would have been a savings to you of $3,399. Now I want you to think about what you could have done with that extra savings. You could have paid an extra bill. You could have taken an extra trip. You could do whatever you want. You could put that into anything you want because now that is your money. Now, if our customers would have saw the same reservation, same time frame, they would have only seen 50% of what you saw. So the same trip on our regular sites that are out there would have been $4,867. But on our iGo customer site, it would have been $3,168. Folks, they still would have saved $699 on their vacation. Now, how many people did you know are saving that kind of money on their vacation? I want you to think about this. If you gave this to a friend, a family member, a coworker, a neighbor, or a loved one of yours, and they took a nice vacation and still save that kind of money, do you think they love you for it? Absolutely. See, you wouldn't feel bad about sharing that, would you? So here it is now. What's going to happen to you, folks? Remember, they only spent $3,000, but they saved $699. What does that mean to you? You get 50% of that back in commissions. That means you would have actually earned $849 while your friend and family member was on vacation. On top of that, we take another 35% of that $1,699 and we spread it out to the leadership in the compensation plan. On top of that 35%, we take another 15% and we give that to the company in the form of profits. So I want you to imagine that. Ladies and gentlemen, you're talking about 85% of that is paid out through the compensation plan. 15% of that the company takes and the company still earns income. Why? Because there's no overhead, there's no product, there's no shipping. Guess what? It's just totally different. Hashtag just different. That's what we say in our company. Hashtag just different. Okay. We also say hashtag good. Good means get out of debt. We know people around the world, most of them are actually in debt. So could you take the $849 now and put that to a bill to help you get out of debt? Sure you could. As a matter of fact, if you did that for one customer, could you do it for more? Of course you can, right? So here it is. We show you an example. If you just went out and built a customer model, a customer acquisition model, meaning that you just had a network of customers using this free site. Here it is. We did a conservative example here. If you had 10 of them that took one trip in a year, and that savings on that trip was $600. Could be more, could be less, right? But we just threw an example in there. We said that's $6,000 that you helped 10 people save in the course of a year. What would you get back in return as a form of a boomerang? You would get a travel savings bonus of $3,000. Now, could you take that $3,000 and do some good? Could you get out of debt? Sure you could, right? Because this would be extra incremental money that you're earning above what it is that you currently bring home on your job or your business right now. Now, if you were conservative in that model and you only had 10 customers, do you think that if you just got 10 customers every month for the next however many months it is, you think you can get to 100? I'm sure you're probably saying, man, that's easy. I'm giving away a free site. I don't have to convince them. I don't have to sell them. Just a free site. You don't have to sell travel. So here it is a moderate example. One trip a year, 100 customers. They're each saving a minimum of $600 on their vacations or their trips. Guess what? That's $60,000 worth of savings that you passed on to the customer. What comes back to you in the form of a boomerang is a travel savings bonus of $30,000 in the course of a year. Could you do some good with that? Sure, you're saying, yeah, I got it now, Emmanuel, right? Think about this, folks. If you just did this every month for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, let's say it took you 5 years to get to 1,000 customers that are using your free portal, your free website, or their own free website, right? Remember, that's 1,000 customers traveling in a year. That's $600 worth of savings. That's $600,000 of travel savings bonus that you have out there in the universe working for you. And guess what? It comes back to you in the form of a boomerang or a travel savings bonus. That's $300,000 in the course of a year just for giving out goodwill, for just giving out good deeds? How many of you all can get there one day? I'm sure you're saying I could, right? And that's the model that we're seeing. People are flat out excited. People are now giving these away. Matter of fact, on the last day of the month, last month, we had over 2,000 plus customers that were booking in just that one day. We're averaging that almost every day now. It's probably even more than that right now because people are flat out excited about this opportunity. Now, this is just on customers only. Now, we know some of you all are seasoned veterans out there in the networking industry, right? If you put networking to this or team building to this, it's an explosion waiting to happen. Matter of fact, I'll show you an example. If you started with even just a small team, right? We know some of you all built huge teams, but let's just be very conservative here and say you had 50 people on your team. What do we teach in our company? We teach everybody how to get 10 customers. Those 10 customers, that means now you've got 50 customers in your network. They all take a trip in a year. That's $600 worth of savings per trip. Now, guess what that means? That means now that's $575 worth of travel savings that flows through the commission structure. Remember, you're not getting 50% of that because your team has a customer. So they got to get 50%, right? But you would get that other 35% spread out. So let's just say it was average of 10%. You would now make $58. Now, don't sneeze on $58. What could you do an extra $58? Well, you could pay for some of those ancillary things that you're paying for right now. When you look up at the end of the month, you see, man, I done spent $500, to $1,000 on stuff that, I'm just spending money on, right? Well, now you can take that, ladies and gentlemen, just use this as your ancillary income. You just made $1,700 for the month, $20,000 for the year, just from helping people get 10 customers. Now, as you became more moderate and got to a point where now your team kept growing. Maybe you had 5 and they had 5 and they each had 5 and 10 and things of that nature. You get to the point you got 250 team members. They all get 10 customers apiece. Of course, right? So here it is. Now you got 2,500 customers, 2,500 trips, $600 worth of savings. That means you got over $2,877 being saved per day, and you got a 10% override on that. The boomerang still comes back to you in the form of a travel saving bonus. So you get $288 a day, $8,630 a month, $103,000 plus in a year. And remember, you can even still be doing this part-time, earning income above and beyond what you do in your business and your job. Let's show you one more example. Let's talk about an aggressive model. Let's say you got to 1,000 people in your team who all each had 10 customers. Now you got 10,000 customers in your network. They all take a trip in a year. $600 worth of savings, $11,000 worth of savings per day. At a 10% override, folks, you're talking about $1,100 a day, $34,000 a month. Now you can see at this level, just only having 1,000 people in your network, your annual income can become your monthly income. And it's happening to people already in our company. And we're less than 2 months old. That's $400,000 plus in a given year. Coming back to you as in the form of a travel savings bonus. Is it possible? We've got plenty of examples already of this happening to people, and we're only less than 2 months old. Now, let's talk about our dual team structure and how we get paid. Well, I'm not going to go through the entire compensation structure here, but I will tell you, anybody that you bring aboard as a TSA in our company, whether they come in one of our 3 packages, coach class, business class, first class, we actually will give you what we call is a direct sales bonus, which comes out to about 10% of whatever the actual commission value is. So you can make anywhere from $20, $40, or $80 on everyone that becomes a TSA in our company if you personally enroll them. Now, we also have what we call is a very, very explosive dual team bonus. Now, this dual team bonus is in a binary, so to speak. And binaries, ladies and gentlemen, in our company, it moves very, very, very fast. It's kind of like you taking a Lamborghini and pulling it in 12th gear. You're getting to your destination a lot faster. So that's why I like the binary. The binary here, all it means is, ladies and gentlemen, is you actually can build yourself 2 teams. And your teams can build themselves 2 teams. But collectively, you all are helping each other build 2 teams. See, the word team, TEAM, it stands for together, everybody achieves more. So imagine now building a team, everybody works collectively together, and all the volume from the new TSAs that get involved in the company week to week, we will pay you a minimum of 10% to as much as 20% on all of the business from the travel saving packages that people are purchasing. As an example, here you see on the left team, on Sunday night, we calculated up, let's say it was $10,000 in commissionable value. On the right team, we calculated all up on Sunday night, and it was $5,000 of team commissionable value. Well, what we would do is we would pay you up to 20% on the smallest of those two legs. So if that week it was the right leg, well, we would pay you 20% of that $5,000. That means, guess what, folks? Boom, you just earned $1,000 for the week because collectively you all built out those two teams for the week. And guess what? We do this every week. We recalculate it every week. And the most you can earn in this dual team structure is $250,000 for the week. Yes, $1 million for the month, folks. Strong dual team commissions that you can actually earn. There are other ways of how you can actually get paid here as well. But in the interest of time, I certainly want to share with you really how to get yourself in position to be able to benefit from our compensation plan and the momentum that the company is having right now. Everybody joins our company as a standby member. What that means is you join for $49.95. The benefit to you is that now you get yourself a customer site. You get 5 boomerangs you give away to 5 of your friends and family members. And you also set yourself up to earn a $25 referral commission for large groups that you refer over to Extreme Travel. Now, also, too, there's a concept here that's been brand new in the industry of direct sales. I think it's one of the first companies, if not the first company, to ever use what we call an eye-to-side interactive presentation. And folks, this has the company booming worldwide because these Ibuumerang interactive presentations, they don't cost you anything to send to a person. You just need their name, their email address, and their telephone number. And you just need to give a call to them and let them know, hey, listen, I need you to see something right away. There's a new company that's exploding all over the world. Check it out and let's talk. And guess what? You send it off to them and they watch it. Now you know exactly what they want to do, ladies and gentlemen. So you can send out unlimited amounts of these presentations per day. So basically what am I saying to you? I'm saying you don't have to do what I'm doing. I'm saying you don't even have to talk much to be able to earn money in this company because you can use that eye-to-side interactive presentation day after day, week after week, month after month to share with your marketplace. And you also will have a $49.95 monthly subscription here. And that's just a fee for you to be able to use the website and use as many of the eye-to-side presentations as you want. Now, that just gets you in the game. Doesn't get you really making the big money, but it gets you in the game. If you want to get to the point of now you're making big money, you have to make sure that you get started at one of the 3 packages that we have here. And these are one-time purchases. You don't have to make this purchase every month. You have a coach class, you have a business class, you have a first class. Think about it. It's just like flying a plane. When you fly around the world, which way do you like to fly? You like to fly first class, right? I'm sure you're saying that, right? So here it is. Guess what? We give you benefits at every single one of them. At the iGo site for the coach class, that means you on your member site, you can only book flights, hotels, and rental cars. At the business class, you can book whatever in the coach class, but we also throw in there now cruises. At the first class, get this, you get to use everything on the site pretty much. What about your customers? When they get their own customer site, well, we give you at Coach 10 free customer sites to give away for free. At the business class, we give you 25 free customer sites to give away. At the first class pack, guess what? We give you 50 of these boomerang sites to give away for free. And guess what? When they book on them, ladies and gentlemen, this is where the difference is. At Coach, you're only going to earn 50% of the available savings. What does that mean? Let's say a customer books on your site and your coach, and they save $1,000 on the trip. Well, you know 50% is supposed to come back to you in the form of a boomerang travel saving bonus, which means that you're supposed to get $500, but you're only getting 50% of the $500. So that means you only earn $250. So you're not getting the full bang for your buck. So here it is. You can start there, but I certainly wouldn't stay there. Now, the same thing happens over there, or something better happens at business class. Now we give you 100% of the savings. But also on the first class, we give you 100% of the savings on everything in the portal, okay? Now, that dual team structure that I just told you about a moment ago, at Coach, you're only going to make 10%. So when your teams grow every single week, it's just 10% of the bonuses you're earning week to week to week. At business class, it's 12%. But get this, at first class, which is where everybody's starting at, guess what? There's a special perk. Normally it's 15%. But because we're just getting started in this company and we're just launching, we're still in pre-launch mode right now. We have our grand opening event coming up in August the 30th in Las Vegas. We're in pre-launch. So therefore, you can become a founding first class member. And if you join as a founding first class member, we're going to give you 20% versus 15%. Okay. That means you could do the same exact work, get paid twice as much as a person that joins in at the coach. That's why we say the first class is a great package to get started at. Now, for the member trips, remember, we're going on a trip here next week. So guess what? From a luxury experience standpoint, if you join at the coach class, you get to know when everybody else knows about the trip. On the business class, you get to know a week in advance. Okay. But if you join at the first class, guess what? You get to know 2 weeks before everybody else knows. And usually, guess what? The best rooms are already sold out within those first 2 weeks. So think about that as well. What is the cost to get started with these packs? Coach is only $250. Business class, only $500. And first class is only $1,000. Imagine this. Imagine this being your Uber moment. And all it took you was $1,000 to get started. And guess what? You look up a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and you change your entire family's legacy, and you only spent $1,000 to get started one time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a game changer. It's a no-brainer. Get back with the person that invited you to be on this webinar here today and turn your dreams into reality. Get started with our company. Join the Ibuumerang family. Let's get you up and running so we can put people in your business and money in your bank account, and we'll see you at our grand opening on August the 30th. My name is Emmanuel Berstein. I appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit here today, and I look forward to seeing you at the bank and on one of the beaches around the world, and of course at the top. Bye, everybody.